Folks, unfortunately ARK Survival Evolved servers are coming to a close at the end of September 23. Today is Wednesday, August the 30th. Wildcard has finally posted the server saves allowing us to run our own servers or import them into Singleplayer, but provided no real documentation on how to do so. Hopefully this helps. If you haven't already grabbed your backup, head to the server backup page. I'll put a link in the description below. Hover over the August 23 server list, scroll on down, try to find your server. You can do a Control F, type in the server name. It should pop up in that list. Go ahead and click on it and download away. So now that we have our server backups, we need to go ahead and unzip those guys. So you can right click, extract all. Just go ahead and hit extract. It should dump that data into the same directory that your download is in. Go ahead and open up that folder once it's done. And in this particular folder, we're going to be looking for the ARK profile folder. So these are files from everybody that had left a player on that server at some point. You can see this particular ARK profile doesn't have a name. You're going to be looking for the structural property owner. You can see that particular guy. There's nothing behind it. If you organize these by size, it's going to show the folks that have been on the server, not necessarily longer, but have more, have completed more of the game. You can see this structure property owner, Kentucky here. That's what you're looking for, is your name. Unfortunately, there's no good way to do this that I'm aware of other than searching through these one by one. Fortunately, I was able to find mine fairly quickly. I was in the top 15 or so when searching by size. Now, there's really only two files we're going to care about here. Your ARK profile, and if you go back to the main directory here, we're going to be searching for the largest file, which is the server data. We're going to copy both of those files into another directory on the computer. Doesn't matter where, just save them somewhere safe so you have a copy. Now that we found our two files and we have a nice safe backup of them stored on your computer somewhere, we can go ahead and do the Steam directory. This is going to vary depending on your machine. You can see I have multiple drives here, but this is the path on my machine. We're going to look for the save folder, and we're going to be looking for two particular things. The saved ARKs local, and then any particular levels that you may have played in single player. If you want to keep these, you can make them .back files like this. You just add that extension to the end, or you can just delete them, of course. But we need them to go away. So in my case, I just made a folder called backup and then drug those two folders we don't need straight in there. If you've never played single player, you wouldn't have these folders in the first place. So if they're not there, no worries. So next we'll need to recreate the folders that the game needs for this to work. If you know the names of those folders, you can just go ahead and make a new folder and name it that level. If you don't, I assume most people won't know the names. There's another way we can do it by just launching the game into single player and letting the game create those directories for us. So let's go ahead and do that. If you never played single player, we're just going to be clicking host local, selecting the story ARK that you would like, or a custom ARK, of course, depending on whatever server files you had downloaded, and playing single player in that particular mode. Now, none of this really matters, but you can go ahead and name your character and spawn in. And of course, make sure you punch a tree and then immediately die to everything on Scorcher. So after your character is fully loaded in, you can go ahead and just exit to main menu and quit the game here. You'll see that there's directories that have been created for any of the single player maps that you loaded up. The saved ARK local is going to be the island map. All the other ones have their actual names. I guess they're afterthoughts. We're going to enter that directory and go ahead and select all the data inside and delete it. Now that we have that folder cleared out, we're going to head to our downloaded unzipped server files, select all, and copy them into that directory. The last change we'll need to make in here is relocating our ARK profile, the one with the big long number in front of it. We'll need to rename that to localplayer.ark profile. It is case sensitive. The last change we'll need to make is in the launch options. You can right click on the ARK game, go to properties, and then launch options is the bottom. You'll need to change it to what's shown here. Now we can go ahead and start the game normally. Under host local, you'll see icons indicating that there is a file save that's valid for whatever map that you're trying to load here. So we'll go ahead and launch Scorched Earth. I wanted to note that, at least on the first login, there were some pretty extensive load times, and my memory usage on both my RAM and GPU were basically maxed out at 32 gigs of RAM and 24 gigs of VRAM. I'm guessing this is due to the first time loading of the map and everything rebuilding itself. Two other things that you want to keep note of, one you might see here, is that any of the resources that would normally not spawn in due to foundations do respawn upon your first load. You may get stuck in something, but you can enter God mode and get out of there. The second thing is that any base that was previously on the server by another player is essentially in PvP mode. Any tames or defenses they may have will attack you, so keep that in mind if you go near those bases. You can, however, destroy those bases and loot them for whatever may be inside.